congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Does that feel better?
Feels a lot better, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's been, what, 18 goes, eh? So, yeah. It's disappointing that, you know, it's not to affect the series, but I think it's really important that everything that's been thrown at the group over the last little while, for us to respond in that fashion, to find a way on that wicket, I think shows good cricket smarts in many ways, and you know, I think today in particular showed great bravery to read that situation in that manner and play with that conviction. So I'm very proud, obviously, of the rest of the boys, and hopefully we can build on it and use the momentum into the next game.
How's the dressing to the chase? Calm? Nervous?
Yeah, it was pretty calm. I mean, I was in the viewing gallery waiting to bat most of the time, trying to find 7 across.
On a pair as well. Is that the sweetest run of your Test career in the second innings or not?
Well, I've been on a few, so you get used to it. But no, I think more than anything, when you're out there, you know what the job is, you know what's required. For me, I was obviously bitterly disappointed. Wanted to see us home and be there at the end with Brookie, but you know, I wouldn't change being not out for the result for sure.
Now, I've been calling batting on there a lottery. Did it feel like that when you're out there? Certainly, yes.
Certainly felt hard. I'm not sure I'd want to roll that one up and carry it around with me. But like I said, I think it required a different set of skills than it has done the last couple of weeks. And I think more than anything, it required bravery and courage and conviction in the approach that you wanted to take, and be really clear how you wanted to do it. From my perspective, it was about trying to eliminate one mode of dismissal, be at peace with one mode of dismissal, and understand that, you know, that was how I was going to operate and how I was going to score my runs. I think the way that Jacob played, the way he used the crease up and down the wicket, make it difficult against a good attack to have that consistency and allow them to bowl for long periods of time, felt like it was one with your name on it. So the way that the guys managed that made it difficult for them to build pressure, spread the field out, take the catches out. Was what that situation required, and I think they executed brilliantly.
And a word for the bowlers as well, because turning up today with a pitch like that, there's a lot of pressure on those guys, a fairly young attack in the grand scheme of things, and they performed today.
They did, and we held on to our catches as well, which helps, but they were brilliant, like I say. You know, with a 40-run lead in a low-scoring game, that can seem like quite a lot, so we knew that if we held our lengths, if we operated in around that 5-7 metre length, then we were going to create opportunities and chances, and things could happen very quickly. So it was about holding our nerve, understanding that, you know, anything around that 200 mark would have been you know, in our favour and fancy getting. So yeah, the way that they delivered was outstanding, especially with the bowler down as well.
It must, as the senior pro, big brother, see Jacob Bethel, Jamie Smith, Harry Brook, to be able to play with guys like for the future. They're real talents.
They're huge talents, and we see glimpses of what they're capable at this level. But I think we've only just seen the start of what they can do. I think there's so much that they can offer, and you know, I think winning here and in that manner as well will hopefully fill them with a lot of confidence, and they can take that into Sydney and beyond. But we've always had talent. We've got so many good players in and around this squad. It's just nice to finally, like I say, win a game here. From my perspective, it has been 5,000 days or whatever. So, yeah.
Can I ask how the team are going to celebrate tonight?
3 waters are okay. Yeah.
But you know, the Barmy Army, I mean, I think the officials are trying to actually get them out of the stands now, but they just have not stopped singing. So yes, for yourselves, it's been fantastic, and you guys needed this. But did it feel like you did it for them as well, and they needed this?
Well, we're so lucky to have the travelling support that we have. Everywhere we go in the world, there's so many people that come and watch us, support us, that love their cricket, and they've been through some hard times, especially over here. The amount of games that they've come tours on there, we've had little success. So for us today to be able to give a result for them is quite special, and you know, we really do appreciate everything that they give us as a playing group. It's like a 12-man sometimes. They're always there, they're always singing. And they're always giving a lot for us, so yeah.
Another one, gee, we've got the 2 big boys here.
We do indeed. Ben, congratulations. Joe was just saying that feels so much better. How do you feel, finally, a test match made in Australia?
Yeah, obviously it's a pretty special feeling. It's been, me and Joe have been on a few tours, and it's, yeah, it's not gone particularly well, but amazing feeling. I think in particular the couple of days build up to this test match it was obviously a tough time for us as a team and certain individuals to be able to deal with, but the way in which we were able to keep the focus on the most important thing, which was the cricket that was played out there was, you know, pretty exceptional, I think. So to be able to come out here and put a performance in like that, in the way that we did, yeah, I think a lot of credit has got to go to the way, you know, not just myself, but the senior boys handled that situation and made sure that we tried to keep as much focus as possible on the cricket.
I've got 3 captains here. Is it more physically tiring what you do, because you're batting or bowling and you bat for forever? Is it more mentally or physically tiring playing Test cricket like that, and particularly under the pressure you've been under?
Well, on wickets like that, probably mentally, because it's physically, you don't really feel like you do that much, to be honest. But no, it's a bit of both. I think, you know, when you're in the moment, it's so much easier to focus on the cricket. You know, when you go away and then you go back to your room, when you're in your sort of by yourself in your own company and all that kind of stuff, so many things go through your head. But then when you walk out over the line and then you get here in the atmosphere, you just, that's where your happy place is. So, yeah.
I think as well in games like that, it's making sure you can think clearly under pressure, because things happen so quickly. Is making sure the game doesn't get away from you, being able to slow things down at times, speed them up as well, and use the rhythm of the game in your favour as much as you can.
What people don't realise is when you walk out, it's like that's your happy place, and the change room tonight, that'll be your happy place, because the rest of the time you always feel under the pump, right?
Can be, yeah. Like you say, when you're out there, you're in control. You've got a handle on the game. You've got a way of affecting things. When you're sat there watching, you sort of, as much trust as you have in your teammates and the guys around you, you can't affect the game. So I think as a player, that's your responsibility. That's what you're in it for, is to try and win games for your team and contribute as much as you can. And I think at different times guys stood up this game, and you know, that's why we've stood here having won a game.
Stokesy, at the beginning of the week, you said this is your toughest test as a captain. What did you say to the boys leading into day one? Because I thought actually the way you've handled the last couple of days have been excellent, and the results proven that you had your team behind you. I know it's like being 3-0 down as a captain coming to Melbourne, but you guys put in a performance.
Yeah, I think, look, when see the few days building up to this year, you front up to a few things.
I was waiting for you to say so do I.
And look, I think even though some of the stuff that I said in the build-up wasn't in front of the team or, you know, in the dressing room, the way of the world everyone sees it. So I think that goes a long way. And then in terms of when it comes to the cricket, you know, the big thing for me walking out on day one was obviously understanding that there's going to be 94,000 people here at the MCG. It's going to be loud. So just making sure that everyone was on top of the way in which they held themselves in terms of body language and intensity in the field. And the bowlers knew, you know, how we wanted to operate. It hasn't changed from the first couple of games. We were just much better at being able to execute the plans that we wanted to do this week. And on a wicket that was, you know, pretty helpful. I think you can get a lot more go your way.
Ben, I think we're going to keep you for a minute, Joe. We're going to rotate out. But wait, just 2 seconds. How special was it to win this together? Because the two of you have been through a lot together. So to actually get it done out here.
Yeah. Well, I think just in general, there's been a lot thrown at this team. So the way that we've responded, and to, like I say, on a wicket that was slightly different to what we might have expected, to be able to pull off a win like that is really special. And for him to do it as captain as well, be by his side, is pretty cool.
Amazing. A lot of people want to talk to you, Joe, so we'll let you
Cheers,
go.
thank you.
And you're going to stay with us, that's all right, just a little bit longer. But that was crazy. 2 days, again. I mean, we thought Perth was mad, but more wickets fell on the first day than in Perth.
Yeah. Oh, look, we got the win, but honestly, it's not sort of what you want, really. You know, it was, yeah. It's heavily sided to one skill of the game. Not ideal, you know, game lasting less than 2 days, but, you know, when you take all that away, you are confronted with conditions, and what you've then got to do is, you know, decide on what's the best mode of operation to be able to give you the most chance of success. And, you know, chasing 170 was always going to be difficult, but I thought the way that we took the game on from the outset was the exact way that we needed to do that. Australia have, you know, bowlers who are absolutely impeccable with their line and length all the time, and one thing we couldn't do as a batting group was let them consistently run up and be able to bowl where they wanted to without putting them under pressure. So using our feet, coming down the wicket, trying to hit them over the top, and then spreading the field so then we could rotate the strike was so important on that wicket. You know, both teams have got Joe Root and Steve Smith, and when they make it look quite difficult, you know it's tough to be able to try and build an innings like you normally associate with Test cricket. So, look, I'm real proud of the way in which we went about it there in that run chase. You know, it could have been a lot more difficult if we did just try and hang in there and try and knock those runs down slowly. But yeah, look, Zach Crawley, Jacob Bethel, and then the way that Brookie came in and didn't try and slow down was yeah, pretty good.
We talk about the bowling unit. Obviously, lost Mark Wood. Joffrey was out with a side strain. Gus Atkinson went with a hamstring. But Josh Tongue really bowled well today. Sort of as a unit, how did you feel? Really
good. You know, like obviously having to deal with Gus going down was, you know, less than ideal. But if you know the way then we were able to sort of, you know, operate, obviously bowled Tonguey a long spell and started again with him, and then you just have to think about, okay, how are we going to manage this? But the way that we managed to keep on picking wickets up obviously helps when you go a bowler down. But I think Josh Tongue is the way in which his natural attributes as the way that he bowls is a really, really good matchup, in particular to the Australian right-handers. You know, the way that where he delivers the ball from on the crease, he's a nightmare. And you know, since he's came into this Test team, every time he's got an opportunity, he just keeps charging in. You know, he keeps giving it his all, and that's all we ask of people who get the chance to represent England, is just run in, leave it all out there. And every time he's done that, he's certainly left a lot out there. And to see him get the rewards on Boxing Day, no doubt he would have been nervous, but again, the way in which he handled that was exceptional as well.
And talk about Boxing Day, pretty cool experience, isn't it?
That's awesome. We're very lucky that, you know, we get to be involved in a sporting occasion like this on Boxing Day. We obviously get it here and every now and again in South Africa. So, but playing on the Boxing Day in front of 95,000 at the MCGs, you know, it's something pretty special.
The Barmy Army, I have to just ask you about them. They're still here. The officials are trying to get rid of them, but there's a few left that are sticking it out. But you went over to them. Just what do you think it means for them to see you win?
Yeah, I know it means, you know, so much to them. And you can. The one thing I did say before when I was speaking to, I think it was Zaggers, was that the noise difference was no different to the first couple of games. And then we've been on the right side of the result here. So when you don't feel like something's changed too much because of the result, you know you've got an unbelievable fan base. They are with us through thick and thin. They've been absolutely awesome. So, yeah, they've spent a lot of hours in the sun over there today. So I'm hoping that a few of them wake up with a sore head.
I'm sure they will.
A few of us might after today. So
they're going to hear Swanee speak later, so they're going to walk out of this area.
Thanks, mate.
Look, we're all going to reconvene in Sydney. That'll be the next time we all see each other. But winning this one, I mean, it must give you confidence going in. And effectively, this could end up 3-2 now.
Definitely. And look, we're over the moon. We're ecstatic that we've managed to get on the right side of the result. But before this game started, we knew, you know, what the goal was we've got 2 games left, and we want to leave here with 2 results. So, you know, that's. You know, our focus isn't going to change when we go to Sydney. We're still going to go out there with the exact same mindset and intensity towards, you know, beating Australia. And there's no such thing as a dead rubber when you represent your country.
No, absolutely. Ben, thank you so much. I know I spoke to you on, what was it, Christmas Eve, and I said, what's your Christmas wish? You said to win. It came true. Well done. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you in Sydney.
Perfect.
Looking forward to it. Take care. Enjoy your night tonight. Take care.